begin tonight with a man who was left paralyzed after he says Chandler police shot him by mistake. Hello and thanks for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Troy Hayden. Caribe's off tonight.
I'm Mark Curtis. That man is now filing a massive lawsuit against those police officers and the city of Chandler. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is live in that neighborhood tonight near McClintock and Chandler Boulevard, where the shooting first happened. And Chase, how much is he suing for?
Mark, Troy, we're talking $50 million for negligence in a shooting that changed this man's life forever. And the moment it happened was caught on video. Several gunshots rang out in this Chandler neighborhood. Police going after an armed suspect claiming to have bodies in his backyard, but it was this single shot hitting a neighbor that led to a $50 million lawsuit against the city of Chandler and 2 police officers.
And they shot the wrong person. And unfortunately, he is now permanently paralyzed.
Last March, police received several calls about 58-year-old Luciano Gutierrez claiming he was acting erratically. One of the callers, according to the lawsuit, is that neighbor, 33-year-old Mark Trujillo, claiming Gutierrez threatened his daughter.
Drop the gun, Luciano!
Officers confronted Gutierrez at his home. You can see Trujillo walk across the street as this was happening. After a few seconds of trying to get Gutierrez to comply, police opened fire. Gutierrez was down. You can see Trujillo take cover behind a car. Then once the shooting stopped, the lawsuit says as Trujillo was walking back into his home, an officer fired at him because they thought he had a gun.
He was unarmed, and they just shot him for no apparent reason.
Attorney Benjamin Taylor is now representing Trujillo and his family, saying that gunshot changed the father's life forever.
He won't ever be able to walk again. He will not ever be able to, play with his kids, be able to enjoy the life as a normal human being would be.
At the time, police claimed they told Trujillo to go back inside his home before any shots went off, but he refused.
Police are saying, hey, we were telling Mark to get inside his house and he refused.
I mean, no matter what, you don't shoot the wrong person, an unarmed man. He's not a threat to anybody.
Now, I did reach out to the city and police department for comment on this lawsuit, but both declined. We're live in Chandler tonight. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. Let's talk some weather now. It's going to be a big day tomorrow afternoon. Meteorologist Chris Dunn is here, and we had some light rain in the valley last night.
Yep.
But now you're tracking this next storm that's arriving tomorrow, and this one looks like it's big.
It's bigger, it's badder, it's colder. It'll be snowier for the mountains, and we'll get more rain out of this for the valley for sure, and more wind as well. The first feature, gusty wind. Then the line of showers and thunderstorms rolls through the valley early afternoon. The heavier snow sets up for the Flagstaff area and along the rim back to the White Mountains. Mountain snow above about 5,000 feet, eventually lowering to 4,000 feet. This is a rarity that we don't often see in our forecasts here in the desert. A 100% rain chance, and that happens tomorrow afternoon. 3, 4, 5 o'clock, it will be raining in the valley, and then things taper off by the evening hours. Here's where our storm is right now in California. These are the winter weather advisories in effect for places like Payson, the lower elevations in Yavapai and Coconino counties, including Prescott. Winter storm warning for the higher elevations, Williams to Flagstaff, along the rim back to Show Low. There you will see heavier snow amounts and the strong gusty winds, all over the place. A wind advisory kicks in at 11 a.m. tomorrow until 8 p.m. We'll talk about the wind speeds, the snow forecast totals, and the rain prospects, as well as the weekend forecast, all coming up.
All right, Chris, see you in a few minutes. New at 10. In the wake of the murder of a young girl, a bill that would create an alert system for missing indigenous people unanimously passes a Senate committee. And it comes as investigators are still working to find the person or people who killed young Emily Pike. And we're also learning more about the group home where Emily was living. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono joins us live now with more. Bianca.
Troy, we've obtained records and data from the Mesa Police Department giving us more insight into the amount of times they've been called to the group home where Emily lived. That includes the 30 missing persons reports taken over the past 3 years.
I testified.
At the Capitol Wednesday, Gila River Indian Community Governor Stephen Rowe Lewis fighting back tears as he talks about Emily Pike while advocating for a bill that would create an alert system for missing Indigenous people.
I testified in early February that this legislation is critical. But little did I know at that time, Emily Pike had been missing for weeks.
On January 27th, the 14-year-old girl from the San Carlos Apache tribe went missing from the group home in Mesa where she had been living. And on Valentine's Day, her remains were discovered, showing she had been dismembered. Lewis wonders what would have happened had an alert been issued.
Would Emily be alive today?
Emily's case is not the first missing persons case stemming from that same Mesa group home, which 12 News is not identifying for privacy reasons. Mesa police say there were 3 prior calls involving Emily back in 2023. And in the past 3 years, police data shows there have been 89 calls for service to the group home. 42 of those were for a missing person. 30 of those calls resulted in reports being taken. The reason a report would not be taken can vary, but can often be because the person was quickly found.
Every child deserves to be safe.
January Contreras leads Children's Action Alliance and advocates for less children to be placed in group homes.
I come back to the solution of supporting families, supporting grandparents, many grandparents, aunts, uncles ready to step in. We need to do that, and we need to recruit more foster homes as well.
DCS says while it doesn't believe any action taken or not taken by the group home caused the terrible outcome in Emily's case, they've opened a licensing inquiry to determine whether appropriate steps were taken by the group home, as investigators still work to find Emily's killer. And Governor Lewis's bill advances at the legislature. Contreras hopes Emily's tragic death leads to change. And we have asked Mesa Police how many missing persons cases stemming from that group home over the past 3 years remain open today. They're combing through their data to find that answer for us. And the last update I received from the Gila County Sheriff's Office was that they are continuing to turn up new leads in Emily's case, but still no suspects have been identified. We're live in studio tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
And the person who committed that crime still out there. Bianca, thank you. We have some developing news in Chandler tonight. A card skimmer found at a Bank of America ATM. Chandler police say their fraud prevention unit investigating that skimming device found Monday at the Bank of America near the Loop 101 and Chandler Boulevard. Now these devices, the skimmers, have the ability to capture your card data when you're using an ATM. Then they'll take that and use it other places. Police say this is still an active investigation. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays is suing several companies over an alleged real estate scam. She says the companies targeted homeowners facing foreclosure, tricked them into signing away their property rights. The scam allegedly went on for nearly a decade and hundreds of people were victimized. And now Mays says she wants to ban those companies from doing business in Arizona.
A few days ago, we showed you this video of a dog being pushed out of a car in surprise. Since then, it's gone viral, and it has really touched a nerve on social media. Now a state lawmaker is weighing in on it. The Surprise Police Department says 26-year-old Priscilla Galanos and 20-year-old Logan Gamble were the ones who pushed the dog out of the car and then drove away. However, they're only facing misdemeanor charges, meaning there likely won't be any jail time. Republican State Senator Shauna Bollock thinks those charges aren't severe enough, but adds that changing Arizona's animal cruelty laws could be a challenge.
I didn't think that was enough. I don't typically just draft something and say, let's see if it sticks. I'd rather talk to people who are actually on the ground. I don't want to have something out there that's not enforceable.
As for the dog, Surprise Police say their officers took him in for a couple of days, but he will soon be in the hands of the Humane Society, where hopefully he can find a forever home.